This is Feature Minor. So, Witsit Getsit was involved in another epic flat Earth debate. This debate kind of came out of nowhere for me. I wasn't expecting it. I just, was kind of scrolling around YouTube and I stumbled across this debate. So, it looks like if this trend continues where flat Earth is getting these high profile looks, I think this is, like I said, going to do nothing but good for flat Earth, because you're not going to convince a flat earther to become a globe earther again. It's just not going to happen. But there is lots of potential and lots of room to convince globe earthers that they have been lied to about their precious globe Earth, and they can become flat earthers, or at least globe deniers, from these types of discussions. So I can only see this going one way. I can only see this doing good for flat Earth and not so good for the globe Earth if these high profile debates continue to happen. And I think they will, because everything's going to be picking up steam over the next few months. Because look, first of all, we're going to get to that in a second, but look, what's going on with Professor Dave is that it looks like he wasn't quite prepared for this debate. I don't really get the feeling that he understood who he was going to be going up against. Professor Dave's last debate that I saw him in was basically with DITRH. And so with Witsit Getsit, I think this is a better fit for Professor Dave, because Witsit gets into all the scientific stuff, and that's kind of his thing. That's where he prevails at. So this is where I think Professor Dave was humbled and probably a bit uncomfortable, because I don't think he was expecting that level of discussion to take place. So yeah, Witsit can actually debate with the best of them. He can be the one that could go up against pretty much any scientific person or any physics person or anything like that. So I think this is where Professor Dave was humbled. Nah, I'm not saying that he showed any humility, but I think as I analyzed his reactions and the discussion, he had his hand on his head. He was just he looked pretty uninterested at first, but then I think when Witsit started going, I think that kind of sparked his attention, even though he tried to play it off like he wasn't taken aback a little bit. He tried to act like he was still bored and like he was being forced to debate or something, but I don't think he wanted to show his true reactions. It just looked to me like, I feel he was kind of intrigued and didn't understand the level of intelligence this debate actually had, because he thought flat Earth was just a dumb idea. He went against DITRH, and no offense to DITRH, but he's good at talking to the general public more. I think DITRH easily can have a incredible discussion with the general public and the beginners. But when you start going against people that have researched this subject a little bit, to the best of their capabilities, like Professor Dave, and they have the scientific background. So when you debate people like that, I think Witsit is a much better fit for those types of debates. So this went very well, in my opinion, and to me it was obvious that Witsit won the debate, but that's with my flat Earth bias. So I would think that anybody watching the debate would actually think the same. I looked at the comments, and it looked like pretty much everybody thought Witsit won, because once again, Professor Dave is something about his personality that people don't like. Even globe earthers, I should say, were saying that Witsit won. A lot of them were saying it because they were saying basically with Professor Dave's arrogance, they don't like how he behaves during these debates. And I saw he tried to turn it down and act a little more normal, but it didn't quite show, because he just can't get that arrogance factor out of him. It's his energy. He can't hide that. It's his true nature and his true self. And his clinging to the globe Earth ball, and just the way he presents his information, people do not like how he handles his debates. And I saw he tried to do better, because they said the same thing with the DITRH debate with Professor Dave, and they, everyone pretty much said they were turned off by how Professor Dave was behaving. So this time I saw he tried to do a little better, but still people still saw it. They still picked up on his energy and they didn't like it. And they, I think he made a lot of flat earthers that night, because a lot of people I saw in the comments were saying they are globers, but they actually have doubts now. So look, Professor Dave, he's sticking to his main talking points, and I don't think he is ready for this challenge. So look, that's why I'm going to have a few more videos coming up over. I hope I can get these out quicker than usual, because there's a lot to talk about, because this debate covered a lot of stuff. And well, let's start with the word salad response that Professor Dave kept trying to throw at Witsit. He kept saying that Witz is using word salad, so he's saying that he's just using a bunch of words that sound good to make it sound like he's saying something important, but he's not saying nothing. Well, Witsit kept saying, well, look into what I'm saying. He knows exactly what he's saying. Witsit was saying he knows what words he's using. He's saying you actually don't understand the words I'm using, so you're trying to act like he's just using word salad. So that didn't hold up very well. And I think that's like what I said is, I think Witsit has an edge over Professor Dave with this whole debate. I think it was pretty clear. So Professor Dave, he's trying to say, well, the Southern Star rotation, he's trying to talk about stuff like that. Witsit had a excellent response about, it's the direction you're facing those stars. And, if you're facing south or north, it's going to look like it's going either clockwise or anti-clockwise, but really the stars are just moving one direction the whole time. It didn't look like Professor Dave was able to comprehend or process that, because he's so stubborn and arrogant. And then another point that Professor Dave likes to bring up is the southern flight times. Well, when it comes down to that, there's jet streams, and there's jet streams involved, and you can see how the planes can catch these jet streams, and when they take their flights one direction, it's quicker, and when they go back the other way, it takes longer, because they are catching these tailwinds, and these planes can reach up to about 800 miles per hour when they catch these consistent jet streams that are in the southern area. So yeah, also with the 24-hour sun, that's when it comes down to this final flat earth experiment that we're going to be getting into in some of my other videos. I have a lot to talk to you about that. So that's another thing that came up. And with the flat earth experiment, that's going to be something that I think is going to, I have a lot to talk to you about with this, because this could go either way. There could be some foul play involved possibly, or maybe it could prove flat earth, or maybe, a lot of flat earthers have said that if the sun stays in the air and it doesn't set, well, then they're saying, well, that proves the globe. So this final flat earth experiment we're going to be getting into in another video. Make sure you're subscribed with your notification bell on, and make sure you like the video so that YouTube knows to present you my videos. So we're going to get into this final flat earth experiment. I have a lot to talk to you about with that. We're not going to be able to get it all in this video. So basically, though, this is a big experiment coming up. I think it's around December 14th or something. I'll have more specifics later in another video. But yeah, a lot of, even like Jeranism and Witsit have already conceded that if this experiment takes place and the sun stays in the sky visible, that's impossible on a flat earth. But if it goes dark and the sun sets, well, that proves the flat earth. So this experiment, there's a lot of variables though that we're going to have to discuss. So this is a pretty interesting experiment that's going to be taking place. I can't wait to get into my other videos about this topic, because you guys are going to have, I'm going to be able to brainstorm with you and show you some information that I haven't heard anywhere else when it comes to my thoughts on this final flat earth experiment. So anyways, look, I'm going to leave a link to the debate in the comment section and description box so you can check it out for yourself. I'm also going to leave links to my other channels, my social media, my Feed Your Mind store, my free email newsletters, and much more. If you would like to support this channel, please donate as little as $1 to help keep this channel online. So thanks for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Feed Your Mind, signing off.